Hello guys, today we are here to discuss the format and structure of report writing. That's the part of report writing. And we have Assistant Professor Dr. Hasan Singh with us to deliver the lecture. So I would like to call Dr. Hasan Singh to deliver the lecture and to continue the format and structure of report writing.
Format and structure of the report, I would like to say that a report can be divided, the whole format of the report can be set, organized into three parts. First is front matter, second one is main body, and finally back matter. Next slide please. Here we will be discussing the front matter, and front matter of the report can be having following points. First part is cover of the report. While talking about the cover of the report, a report can have hard cover like this, or it may have paperback. This cover, depending on its thickness, significance, importance, value and use. When the report is having hard bind, it will be the cover will be hard bind. And even while discussing the cover, we must remember that the cover of the report should not be having dark color like this. Rather, it should have light color like this, or even light ivory color, or even simple color. For that purpose, even the cover and the sheet, the quality of the papers are supposed to be defined depending on the significance of the report. Furthermore, second point comes that title page. Cover sheet and title page. What are the information that we should be organizing on title page? The first thing that should be organized on the title page, title of the report, and then the person who prepared the report, and it is like a report on the value analysis of financial planning of India, and then prepared by and under the funded by prepared by Mr. So and so under the aegis of Finance Ministry, Ministry of Finance, Government of India, and funded by again Government of India, submitted to the person Finance Minister, maybe Arun Jaitley, and the date of the report. This should be cover sheet. Even second part comes as the title. After the title page, frontispiece. Frontispiece may have, since if the report is a government report, so frontispiece may have national emblem of India, may have tricolor of India, it may have, you can say, picture of Mother India, depending on any, or it may describe only the ministerial office, or it may have that three lion faces, and that, and inside that is the bottom line, or even it may have that, you can say, insignia of Make in India logo for Ministry of Finance, and in the bottom Ministry of Finance, and this that may be frontispiece. If somebody is preparing a report on TITS Bhiwani, the image may be logo of TIT, image may be the name of the institution, image may be picture of a building, image that is, you can say, representing that ethos, and that will be frontispiece or some information on that. Then there comes the copyright notice. Copyright notice means no part, all right reserved, no part of the report can be published without proper permission from the office of Director TITS, or from the office of Ministry of Finance, if the report, depending on the title of the report. Then there comes forwarding letter. Forwarding letter means some authority will be forwarding that, and it will be telling that this letter, this report is prepared under my guidance, and it should it should be usable for this area, the scope, and this is authentic, original and factual. I approve that the report is valid and it is to the point, it is useful for the benefit of whomsoever it is applicable. So there comes the forwarding letter. Then there comes, after forwarding letter, there comes the acknowledgement. Acknowledgement, what is acknowledgement? If I am taking any support from any person in the completion of the report, on preparing the report, I must be acknowledging that support, whosoever has supported me. Like one of the thing I would like to give you for an acknowledgement line, like as a creeper depends on the each and every branch of the tree that supports it, in the same way I would like to acknowledge the support whosoever extended to me in the completion of this report. Then that becomes the acknowledgement. And even you should acknowledge the support that you have obtained or received from any end. Then list of illustrations. Then furthermore you can go writing the preface. While drafting the preface, you should be maintaining that the report is prepared for what and all that in the preface, background notice, and who was appointed to prepare the report, why this report is being prepared, what is its applicability, utilization, etc., etc. Then table of content. Then there comes the table of contents. And table of content mentions or organized, like back matter will be in the Roman numerals, page numbering of back matter, and then later on main body will be 1, 2, 3, 4 like that, and then abstract. Finally abstract will be there, abstract or summary or executive summary. In professional world, in managerial field, people will like to write executive summary, or even in the professional world, here there in the field of academics, people would like to write abstract. They are similar in nature, but abstract is different from the summary. Abstract can be independently published wheresoever it is applicable, and it is authentic information, it can be quoted. And that is why depending, abstract should be very short, brief, even word count is there, some of the situation, number of pages are identified and defined. Like suppose that if a report is having 2500 pages, nobody is having time to read the complete report. Rather, people will go for the abstract. So abstract of that much big report can be precisely prepared within 35 pages, 20 to 35 pages, depending on the, and it must include all the significant information. Next page. Report writing main body. Let us discuss the second major part of report writing, that is known as the main body of the report. And main body can be majorly be divided or significantly be plotted into, segmented into 4 sets, and that is introduction, discussion, conclusion, and finally recommendation. Introduction of the report. Introduction should carry all the basic information, and it should why this study, like journalistic approach. Who suggested this study? What is its applicability? Why should we conduct this report, this study? And what is its utilization? What, when, where, why, how? How are you going to conduct the study? All those basic information will come under introduction. Even the chapterization will be suggested inside introduction. That this report is proposed to study, like suppose that futuristic approach of TIT, the Technological Institute of Textile and Sciences. And there it will be foundational, background, everything will be mentioned in introduction. What is the purpose? What are the objective of the report? What is the mission and vision of the report? How we are going to accomplish it? And then everything will come in introduction. Then there comes discussion. Discussion will be having data collection first. Data collection, data analysis, scientific data processing, and then ultimately discussion based on the conclusion and findings of the data. Then there comes after discussion there comes conclusion. What are the findings of the whole discussion that will be organized synchronously into the conclusion, and based on the conclusion and finding, inferential findings, the author is supposed to, the person who is preparing the report, supposed to give some recommendation, because as I said earlier, no report is complete if it is not having very good recommendation. So recommendation is the foundational part of report writing, and every good report should carry a recommendation part, and that recommendation is mandatory, even you can say in a sense, because without recommendation a report is not valid. You have prepared a report, what is its use, what are its findings, and if it is not going to serve any purpose, then report is worthless. It is not having any its practical utility, any practical value. Next please. Then there comes the back matter. After preparing the front matter of the report, there comes the back matter. This is the third major part. First segment was front matter, second was main body. Now we will be discussing the back matter of a report, and back matter will be containing these points, and these important points should be incorporated in the back matter. First one is appendices. What are the appendices? Appendices are additional chart, graph, sample questionnaire, worked out, calculation, site plan, so on. If you have used any questionnaire and get it filled from different faculty members or students of the department, you must be focusing on that, and that should be, or even the questionnaire and chart and graph, sample question that has been used, it should be the part of appendices. Then B, references. List of works cited. While preparing report, we took some references, like even if you are preparing a report on TIT, you may be having some books on TIT even way back written by G.D. Birla ji, or even by Madam Sarla Birla ji, or even by Madam Manjusri Birla ji, and you can go through that book, go document, you can find out, even sometime Gandhi ji said, gave some statement on TIT, you can quote that, but you have to mention that in the references. And reference is the list of works cited, means that we have taken directly from the from some source. That source must be referred. And then there comes bibliography. Bibliography is the list of works consulted but not may or may not be cited directly. Means there is a difference between reference and bibliography. In reference, if something is used from this material, this resource, from some page, that should be cited. But if I have studied this book, if I have gone through these material, but I have not used it, while preparing the report I have gone through, but I didn't use it directly inside the report, then it will be known as bibliography. Next please. Then next part of the back matter comes glossary if required. It is not mandatory in the small report, but inside preparation of the big report, glossary is the mandatory part. And list of technical words and terms which appear in the text of report. Like in a report on TIT, we can find so many things. If we are using CBLU, what is CBLU? Many persons may not be knowing it. So you must have to clarify that CBLU stands for Chaudhary Bhansi Lal University. If something else, MDU stands for Maharishi Dayanand University. Then PU, TIT had been affiliated to Punjab University also earlier. KU also, it has been affiliated to KU also earlier in its history. So we need to mention it, and even if required, like some words and terms, sometimes we use like LPG. LPG is having so many connotations. Like you might think that liquid petroleum gas. But if it has been used, LPG has been used in the sense of liberalization, privatization and globalization, you must clarify it in the glossary. Or even ICT, So information and communication technology, CCC, cross-cultural communication, these technical terms. PAN. PAN is having 2-3 you can say different meaning. Permanent account number. But if you are using it a PAN as personal area networking, you must mention it in the glossary. Then there comes indexing. List of various topics. Even there is in glossary one more thing you can add, like man. Man is man, it's a word, but metropolitan area networking. So this becomes the different abbreviation for that. We need to be mentioning, clarifying such technical words, technical talk, or any other thing if we have used for very specific purpose, that must be focused in the format glossary of the report. Then indexing. List of various topics, subtopics, and various other significant aspects which have been discussed inside the main body but would not find a place in the table of content. Sometimes we use some words and some specific words. Some topic may be covered for 2-3 pages. Some data might have been discussed for 1 or 2 pages. So we need to prepare indexing of the data, indexing of that topic, clearly mentioning that this occurs from the page number 3, page number 23, page number 58, finally page number 78, even in the preface. So the page numbering must be mentioned, and in order to see that even that small significant topic, small significant subtitle point, one will not go in the table of content, rather he will go directly at the back of the report, and from that back matter he will go directly to the indexing, and there he can find that particular term and explore it and study it inside the main body of the report. Thank you. Next slide please. Then report checklist. Just stop it now.
And today we have read about the report writing, and in that we read format of report and front matter, main body, and the back matters. And thank you for the sir to deliver such a lecture.